The latest film from the MCU, Spider-Man No Way Home, is finally hitting cinemas globally, and in classic Marvel tradition, features links and references to the future of the franchise. With two post-movie stingers in tow, No Way Home offers us a great look into the upcoming MCU Phase 4. Of course, this video will be diving into these stingers, so I suppose I better issue a spoiler warning, just in case, for some reason, you clicked into this video expecting it not to contain spoilers. It quite obviously does. Before we get into this, don't forget to hit that like button down below. It does wonders in getting my content out there. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to keep up to date with all my content. This is your final warning, so let's get into it. Our mid-credit scene takes place just before Doctor Strange reverses the spell and closes up the multiverse at the end of the movie, where we see Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock from the Sony Venom movies sitting at a bar at what appears to be some kind of vacation resort. Here, Brock is in a deep and meaningful with a bartender, played by Cristo Fernandez, who stars as Danny Rojas on Ted Lasso. The bartender is explaining to Brock, who has quite clearly been ripped out of his universe and into the MCU's, all about the various super people who inhabit the universe. Tony Stark and Iron Man are referenced, the Hulk gets a mention, and Thanos is referred to as the purple alien who loves stones. Confused by all of this, Brock goes on to say he needs to talk to Spider-Man, before once again being zapped away into his own dimension right as Doctor Strange reverses the spell. However, as he's whisked away, we see that Brock has left a tiny blob of symbiote behind on the bar, truly showing that Venom has finally landed in the MCU. First thing to note about this scene is that it's quite clearly an extension of the post-credit scene from Venom Let There Be Carnage, which sees Brock zapped into another dimension, now confirmed to be at the exact moment that Doctor Strange's original spell goes wrong. In that post-credits, Brock is seen in an exotic resort wearing the same clothes he's seen in this new scene. At the end of the Let There Be Carnage scene, Venom sees Spider-Man on the television, explaining how Brock knows about him during the new scene. So what does this all mean for the MCU's future? Well, we now know that it's quite simple for multiversal characters to be transported between realms, meaning Eddie Brock could once again be dropped into the MCU for the big Venom vs Spider-Man face-off we've been waiting on forever. Though, with Brock leaving behind a piece of the symbiote, it's more than likely that the MCU will be given its own Venom, whether that's a localized version of Eddie Brock or another character within the MCU still remains to be seen. Obviously, we've now seen that the same characters can exist in multiple realities, and in fact, Tobey Maguire's Spidey references his Eddie Brock Venom during the movie. However, it would seem very weird to have two separate Eddie Brocks within two concurrent film series, when Hardy could easily be used as Eddie Brock via multiversal transportation. So I'm more keen to predict the latter. There's every possibility that a brand new character could be introduced as the MCU's Venom, or the symbiote could attach itself to a previously existing character like Flash Thompson, who has been infected in the comics in the past, becoming the protagonist Agent Venom. Other characters who have been hosts to the symbiote in the comics include Carol Danvers, the Fantastic Four's Human Torch, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and even Spidey himself, though that was already the subject of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3, and seems unlikely that the MCU would rehash that story again. Whatever happens, Venom is here, and I'm super keen to see what is to come. And while No Way Home is being described as the finale of a trilogy, it's clear that Parker has a lot of work left to do and won't be going away anytime soon. The end credit scene is a little more straightforward, in that it's quite literally just a short teaser trailer for the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is due in cinemas in early 2022. There is a lot going on here, and it would be tough to go through it all without doing a full-on trailer breakdown, but there are a few highlights. Strange is seen approaching Wanda Maximoff at her new hideaway, seen at the end of WandaVision, and asking her for help with the multiverse. Here, Strange even mentions Westview, making for the very first time that the connective tissue of Marvel's Disney Plus series are coming into play in the MCU films. We get a look at the brand new Scarlet Witch costume, which is pretty much the same as what we saw at the end of WandaVision, except with sleeves. One big question that arises here is, how did Doctor Strange know about Wanda and Westview? And how does Wanda know to expect Strange, as she says in the preview? My guess is Strange is the one that Wanda is communicating with here in the very last shot of WandaVision's final episode. She's most certainly doing some kind of multiversal searching here, so it would absolutely make sense. All we do know is that Wanda, and we see Mordo confronting Doctor Strange and telling him that, "I hope you understand, the greatest threat to our universe is you." To which a possessed-looking Strange retorts, "Things just got out of hand." This Strange looks very much like the Dark Doctor Strange variant in What If's Strange-focused episode, again showing a potential link to the Disney Plus series and our first indication of animated characters crossing over into live action. In fact, heavy rumours have suggested that various other What If variants will appear throughout the film, which are set to be heavy on cameos, perhaps even more so than No Way Home. We also see a very brief clip of Strange battling Shuma-Gorath, a big bad from the Marvel Comics that has been rumoured to cross into the MCU for some time now. Shuma-Gorath is an omnipotent being that has been around for thousands of years and ruled hundreds of dimensions. Known as one of the Great Old Ones, Shuma-Gorath is not much more than a giant eyeball and tentacles, but is an incredibly powerful being. The character was teased a number of times during the What If series as well, meaning that this character could be a big player in the future of the MCU. Shuma-Gorath certainly seems like a great pick for an MCU big bad, or at the very least, a one-off baddie, especially considering the inclusion of extraterrestrial overlords like the Celestials in the most recent Eternals, the Timekeepers in Loki, and also Kang the Conqueror, also featured in Loki and set for a big role in the MCU's Phase 4. The teaser ends not with the title of the film, but a simple text that reads, "Doctor Strange will return." I'm sure this teaser, or an extended version of it, will be released online very soon, so we can all get a proper look at it and analyse it to our heart's content. For now though, that is it, and I am throwing it over to you. I want to know, did you love the teasers included at the end of No Way Home, and what are you hoping to see in the upcoming MCU movies? Fire away down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Hey everyone, if you haven't yet, smash that big old subscribe button up on your screen to keep up to date with all my content, and hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month for exclusive videos, early access content, and to get your name up on the screen. Thanks again for watching.